the physical past. Excuse me, what the event inherits, right? It's the physical past as inherited by the occasion, like the physical pole. And this mental pole is this anticipatory, this mental dimension where the occasion, as it were, decides among possibilities for its own becoming. Okay, so this is a really important, the dipolarity of events, a mental and a physical pole. Well, if God is to be conceived in terms of an actual entity, God too is dipolar for Whitehead. Okay, meaning that God has two dimensions, if you want, two domains, a consequent nature, okay, and a primordial nature. Okay, so the language of primordial nature for Whitehead is going to correspond to this permanent mental dimension of the life of God. And the consequent nature is going to correspond to this physical relationship in a deep sense, God's physical relationship with the world process as it is happening. Okay, so it's a sort of interesting complexification of God in a certain way, but we're going to see that it's going to be very important. One side of God is going to be permanent and unchanging. The other side of God is going to be fluid and interactive and related. And one of the critiques that process thinkers generally have of the classical God is they've only focused on one side of God. They focus purely on this primordial side that is unchanging. And they've made the conclusions that God in total is completely unchanging, completely unrelated. And yet process thinkers, well, you have a half-truth there. Hartshorne called it a monopolarity, right? They have a monopolar God rather than a dipolar God. Okay, so God too is dipolar. And God, as this dipolar event, is an everlasting event, okay, that encompasses the entire world process within the divine self. God, if you want, is that event in which all other events occur, or in relation to which, an intimate relation to which, every other event which comprises the world process happens. This language of intimacy in a deep, deep way. We'll see some of that coming out either in this session or the next session in a beautiful, beautiful way. Okay, so God is this dipolar event that happens in relation and encompasses the entire universe within the divine self, if you want. And we'll get to thinking about what image of God, what concept of God that sort of lends us to think about.